Good evening, everyone. It is Monday, October 2nd, 2023. It's the MMAOB Daily Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Adam Martin, joined with my co-host here, Mr. Big Marcel. Back for another edition of the podcast, Marcel. Looking forward to it. Talking UFC Vegas 80. We'll also go over Contender Series. And then I think, Marcel, for the second show today, we'll do a brief breakdown of Bellator. What do you think about that? That sounds good
Yeah, sure thing. Why not?
I think that's the best way to do it because that is a big card, Bellator 300, obviously. But first off, guys, we're going to do UFC Vegas 80 after the off week. Now we have 12 fights this weekend. Bobby Green taking on Grant Dawson in the main event. And like I said, 11 other fights. But first off, Marcel, guess what, buddy?
Yeah.
Blue Jays have made the playoffs. My team, the Toronto Blue Jays, have officially made the playoffs. So I got my Moosehead beer here. I'm Canadian, right?
Congrats.
Fucking delicious. That was fucking delicious. So, yeah, we made the playoffs, Marcel. It was a good weekend. I went to the game yesterday. I took my daughter. First time I was able to take my daughter to a baseball game. She fucking loved it. We were right on the front row, which was amazing. I took my mom as well. I tweeted about this yesterday, guys. Like, I don't really, honestly, I'm not on Twitter a lot anymore. You see me, Marcel. I don't really tweet much other than like fight nights. I have so much stuff going on in my personal life, as a lot of you guys know about, in the last year or so. But especially the last few months, it's been kind of crazy. But I just had to tweet that out because, Marcel, as you do get older, like you start to appreciate the little things more. And just being able to go to a game with my mom and my daughter is, it was a real like pleasure for me and a real like good memory. That I'll always have forever. So yeah, we clinched the playoffs, man. I got my beer here, guys. I'm gonna have a few beers today during the podcast. I'm fucking happy. It's 5:00 on a Monday. I'm done my work at bookies.com for the week. Sent in my UFC Vegas 80 best bets for Dawson and Green, Marcel. And yeah, we're here to do the podcast. So anyways, buddy, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I have to mention we're still not sponsored by Monster Energy.
Yeah, no. I gotta tag Moosehead Brewery. That's what
you should, because Hans Molenkamp is really like ghosting us, so I'm really sad about that. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm doing well, by the way, man. I mean, when I wasn't really like when I was having, how do I say this? They had a job in this industry, I was like always like, I want to see UFC every week. But now I was like, I'm actually happy I've not a week off, but it feels like a little bit of a more quiet week. You know what I mean? I can do more other stuff that I normally can because I'm only like, how do you say that? Posting articles and doing stuff on the website and on social media. And last week I had more time for other stuff. Also MMA involved, by the way. So I was okay with a week without UFC, but we still had PFL. We had Cage Warriors. I mean, there was a lot of other MMA going on, so yeah. I didn't bore myself. So I never bore myself, by the way. So yeah, it was good.
Awesome. Let's get some comments here. Yeah, that's you. October updates. Hans has been real quiet since Marcel called him up. Is he still riding Dominic Cruz around that little cart, bicycle or whatever? Joe, what's up, man? How's it going? Eagles again, Joe. They're killing it, man. Bills won too. This was good. And Phillies, Joe, is also in the playoffs. What's up, guys? Hey, Antoine. Good to hear from you, brother. I always see his comment. Go Braves. I think Braves will win the World Series, man, honestly, but I'm hoping the Jays do it. Jays and Braves would be amazing, especially with Alex Anthopoulos, the manager of Atlanta Braves. He used to be the manager of Toronto Blue Jays, so that would be cool. General manager, I should say, not manager. Sweet Science, what's up, brother? John Beezer. John, what's up, man? Anthony Pettis called Cedric Dombe to be a fun one. Well, yeah, so we can quickly talk about PFL. Like, I only watched the Dakota Ditcheva knockout and the Duambe. Actually, no, I watched the Lazy King fight too. The Lazy King fight was a fucking joke. I mean, that fight was like, wow. You talk about a can. That Brad Wheeler guy's terrible. It's funny, like I said, Marcel, Betway opened up these odds for that fight, and they opened up Lazy King at like plus 140, and the line just went like, it was like immediately went like this. They obviously fucked that lineup. Whoever got their $20 in on that line before it switched, like what were they thinking? He closed at minus 2,000, I think.
I mean, both the co-main and main events were pretty much like showcase fights, in my opinion. So.
Oh yeah, the main event was like the odds were close though for some reason.
Yeah, but I've seen Jordan Zebo fight here in the Netherlands, and I mean. He's not bad, He's also part-time model, I think. He's also MMA fighter. He ain't bad, but I already knew that Doumbé was going to win. The only thing what really was big is that he knocked him out in 9 seconds, and that Kylian Mbappé was ringside, which is I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's like one of the biggest soccer stars for you guys, for us as football stars in the world, and he's still super young. And that's big. He tweeted about it, so really big for PFL.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, but both Doumbé and Abduragimov fights were pretty much for them to win. And for Abduragimov, he was supposed to fight somebody else, I think. And I don't know. Wheeler was short notice replacement. I don't know who he was supposed to fight anymore. And Doumbé did well, man. But I see people saying like Doumbé is like already at the top. Man, I need to see more of the guy. He's good. I've seen him in kickboxing a lot in Glory. And he made his opponents crazy, Everybody he's fighting, he does the mental game with them, and they go nuts, I want to see how he does against better competition before I say, like, he's the next big thing. But he's for sure fun to watch,
He's good. I mean, again, I don't understand. Apparently, UFC, was it 20 and 20? That's what their offer was? Is that correct?
The thing what I've heard is that he signed with the UFC, and then the French government didn't allow the fight to happen. He was supposed to fight Darian Weeks on the first Paris card, and I think he had the record of 3-0 or 4-0 by then, and Darian Weeks has a record of 6-1, I think. And he wasn't in the like +5 category, which means if you don't have 5
That's
plus
right.
fights in France, you cannot fight. So that fight got cancelled or whatever, And then there was I think there was some medical thing, and the UFC didn't want to do this or that, and then he went to PFL, and I think we'll see how it works out. It can work out perfectly for the PFL and for the UFC right now. Maybe like, maybe we should have taken the chance, but we'll see.
No, absolutely. Hold on. I'm just trying to fix my background because I have the same one as you, man. You had it first, though, so I'll change it. 1 second. Remember, I'm using. I'm at my old house now. I don't have the. There we go. I got this one instead. There we go. This one should be good.
You're still sexier than me, though, so no worries.
I got Grant Dawson's big, sexy face behind me. There he is. Over my shoulder, man, looming over me, just staring at me. Let's get some more comments, guys. BKFC, I didn't watch it. I don't really watch BKFC. What's that girl's name? Britton Hart, the one that's like Joey Beltran's wife. I think she won, right? She won her fight. I don't really watch it, though. I know. You're the wrong guy to ask.
I've personally, people should watch and do whatever they want, but it's just not for me, man. I always feel like that big KFC has like a lot of these fighters we should be actually not fighting anymore, and they're still on the card. You know what I mean? But they also have some legit fighters. Don't get me wrong, but it's not. There is too many other events for me to watch that. But I mean, for everybody what likes it, go ahead, watch it.
Get some more comments. ONE FC.
The problem with ONE FC over here is that it's very hard to get to find. It's not on Prime over here. It's like with you guys.
Oh, in the Netherlands? We have it on Amazon Prime. Yeah.
And we always had it for free on YouTube, and now they want to have money for it, so they can stick it where it doesn't shine, So, but for example, I've seen the Angela Lee retirement, and then she Stamp won against Sohi Ham, which is a good fight, But that's it pretty much, man. It's like one stopped over for me. One kind of stopped when they started to charge people a lot of money for even like kickboxing fight nights. I don't give a fuck about, So it was like I only see the highlights on my timeline, but it's really not.
I understand. I mean, they do the same thing with Bellator here. They started. I think it was like $20 or something. And no one stopped watching it because it used to be on YouTube. I mean, I'll just be honest. Like when I do watch it, I don't pay $20 to watch it. I'll just say that. Let's get some more comments. Andrea Lee retirement. Andrea Lee. Angela Lee. Yeah, I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, that whole thing is crazy, that whole situation with her and her sister. I mean, rest in peace. Thoughts on what Doumbé's saying? I mean, I don't know. Like, apparently, allegedly, like, Fernand, like, what, he hit his wife or something? Like, that's what he said? I don't know a lot about it, guys. Yeah. I saw the, like, someone had tweeted about it saying, like he pled guilty. I don't know if that's true. Like, you don't really plead guilty immediately to that kind of stuff unless there's like a video of it. You know what I mean? Then you'd be like, okay, yeah, it's on video. But like, just saying, like, normally you don't do that. So I don't know if that's true. But anyways, if it's true, I mean, he might not, be a corner for much longer, I would imagine, right? It's, apparently because what Doumbé's saying. Yeah, he's good, man. Doumbé's a beast. Like I did watch, what was it, 10 seconds, 9 seconds, something like that? It was fast. I think, fucking fast. Card's good. Yeah, it's a pretty good card. Marcus, what's up? Contender Series you like today? That heavyweight fight was that heavyweight fight, Marcel. It was like you and Sean Sheehan fighting, buddy. It was horrible.
I mean, I think we would have been gassed out after 2 minutes, but
no, you would. That's the thing. Yeah. Like, it's true though. Like, people don't realize that. Like, in a street fight and stuff, Marcel, it's just exhaustion. That's what gets you. It's not really like your abilities. Like, Marcel, you can probably fight your ass off for about 30 seconds. Then you're going to be fucking huffing and puffing.
Yeah,
Same with me. Even when I trained, when I used to train MMA, I trained like 3 a day sometimes. And when I actually had my fight, that like I think it was 2 or 3 2-minute rounds. I think 3 2-minute rounds. I was exhausted after the 2 minutes. The first 2 minutes, I was like, shit.
I've wrestled my nephew, I think, when it was like half a year ago for fun, and he's like 3 times smaller than I am. Dude, after 30 seconds, I was gassed as a motherfucker because I'm fat, like I told you, you know. So it's like people underestimate that kind of stuff, you know. I was like, I was like, what the hell's happening here, you know? So yeah, people underestimate that. So yeah, it's true what you say. Because when you're in a street fight, and you have, how do you say that? You have beef with somebody, it's normally you start punching, you know, and the guy or you gets knocked out within 10 seconds. You know what I mean?
I mean, honestly, if I would just try, like, it depends how many people are there, but like if it's one-on-one, I would take the guy to the ground if I could, you know?
Yeah, me too.
But if there's other people there, like you can get your fucking, you know, someone could take a beer bottle or something, smash you behind, or like if you're on the ground on top of a guy. So it's risky. But if it's just one-on-one, I wouldn't even stand. Why would you? That's what I'm saying with MMA. It's like, why even stand and bang? You could just take them down if you can, right?
I just smother, you know?
Yeah. Marcel, just stick your boobs in their face and give them the mother's milk. What they call it, mother's milk, right? That's the smother move.
It's so nasty to talk.
You know, it's funny you say that, though, because I was going to say, like, what was I going to say? In Pride, there was that guy that, there was a smother in Pride, I remember. I can't remember the guy's name, but he just, was it Zulu Zinho? Did he have one?
Yeah, or Giant Silva, one of the two. I don't know.
Giant Silva. No, it's like Zulu Zinho. Let me see.
Yeah.
Anyways, it doesn't matter. Yeah, did he? Yeah.
The guy who fought Fedor as well, right?
Yeah. Fight your ass off in 30 seconds. I know, right? It's true. Okay. Tristan, what's up, man? Thoughts on Chachi claiming UFC's level of martial arts versus one jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, and kickboxing? Yeah, I mean, he's a freaking fraud. Like, I don't know what else to say. Talk about getting fraud check. That guy's numbers are all fake. Now, I do want to address this one. Let's go to that, brother, because you know you're a long-time listener. We just went to the Sundays the last couple of weeks, but the general time is Monday at 5 p.m. I mean, it's possible we might go to the Sunday mornings. I don't know, but in general, it's Monday at 5 p.m. I don't really know how to do the notification things. I could try to like look it up. Like I'm not gonna lie, I don't have like the best understanding of like YouTube and stuff like that. So I'm trying my best here, but I'll take a look and see if there's something else I could do. But in general, yeah, it'd be Monday at 5 p.m. But again, you know, there are some days we'll do it Sunday morning as well. If like Ajax isn't playing, or if they're getting blown out or something like that, or if there's a hooligan on the field, something like that. So we'll let you guys know. But I appreciate you joining us as always, man.
You know, guys, I couldn't do it because his team was playing and he had a gigantic boner and all the blood what is normally in his head was in his dick. So that's
yeah. That's funny. That's funny. By the way, here's Marcus. He likes the Monday at 5 p.m. I mean, that's the time. It's just some days, the Sundays work better. But I think the last few weeks, like the cards weren't that, let's be honest, they weren't that important. So it's not like I was trying to, they weren't really like a priority. You know what I mean? But for this week, we're 5 p.m.
Yeah, I mean, the Notch card, you had that with Grasso Shevchenko, you know, with the Sean Strickland, Adesanya. We wanted to talk about that on Sunday already, you know, so that's why we also...
That's the thing. That's what happened. I think we had that card, and I'm like, yo, I need to talk about this with you like tomorrow morning, right? Actually, I think I said, like, can we do it tonight, like, right after the card? Because I'm like, I need to talk about this.
We have to actually say, yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyways, all right, guys, I think we've had enough little chitter-chatter. Let's get into the breakdowns. UFC Vegas 80. So Marcel, I almost called you Marcus. Marcel, my brother.
Yeah, James.
I always ask you this. What's your overall thoughts going into the card? Like out of 10, I guess not even 10, but just what's your overall thoughts heading into it, and what would you rate the card, Connor?
Listen, man. Considering this is the Apex, is a pretty okay card. I think I would say maybe an 8. For an Apex card, this would be an 8 in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, there's some good fights. There's 12 fights, which is awesome. I mean, one of them might fall off. We never really get all 12, but I think it's pretty good. All right, let's get into it, guys. We'll start off with the first fight. Again, using UFCstats.com, using their bout order. We start off in the women's flyweight division. We have Montana De La Rosa taking on JJ Aldrich. JJ Aldrich right now is favorite. I think she's favorite. What's left? There's different odds for this fight at different books. DraftKings has Montana De La Rosa actually favored minus 120 and plus 100 on JJ Aldrich. Marcel, I mean, okay, I'll start with it. Let me start with this one. I think it should be a pretty close fight, guys. Like I'd imagine this one goes the distance just based on like their fights in the UFC. They usually do go the distance for the most part. Both girls are decent. Like nothing great. They're not contenders by any means, but they're both decent. They've both been around for a long time. I think they've both been around, since 2016 for Aldrich, 2017 for De La Rosa. So long time coming for this fight. For me, Marcel, I think it comes down to the takedown defense of JJ Aldrich. Like, can she stop those takedowns? I don't know. I mean, she has a 65% takedown defense in her career over 10 fights or something in the UFC, something like that. And that's a sample size to know that's not that great. Even in her last fight against Liang Na, she got taken down 3 times. Against Ariane Lipsky, she got taken down twice. So that concerns me. That really does concern me. It's weird because last year she had that fight with Erin Blanchard and looked really good until she got finished, but she looked good in that fight. And the last 2 performances, I don't think she's looked great. I mean, Lipsky fight was terrible, really bad loss for her. She was a huge favorite and lost. And then the Yang Na fight, she got the win, but it's not like it was a flawless performance. I mean, she's definitely a decent fighter. Don't get me wrong. She's decent. She could beat the majority of these low-level women, but I think Montana's pretty good. She's got good wrestling, right? We know she averages almost 2 takedowns a fight. She's very tough, very difficult to finish. I understand she got submitted by Tatiana, but that happens. Overall, though, Marcel, I think she's pretty tough. And I think it'll be a close fight. But I do think it goes a distance, and I do think De La Rosa edges it out. So I think she was the underdog a few days ago. Now she's the favorite. But yeah, I'm going to go with De La Rosa, Marcel, by decision. I think she gets the job done here. What do you think, man?
I remember when JJ Aldrich got signed by the UFC, I thought they were signing JJ Ambrose. So, that's not even
Superman.
No, JJ Ambrose. The fight. Yeah, I don't know if it's Superman.
Yeah, he used to fight. He fought once in UFC or Bellator, right?
Bellator, I think he won.
Yeah.
Or he fought. Yeah, I really thought that back then. As an idiot. Man, this fight screams split decision to me. That's how this fight screams. Man, Montana De La Rosa, really, how do you say that, inconsistent, but same goes for Aldrich, man. I remember that we were sure picking her against Ariane Lipsky, and then Lipsky, probably our best performance besides that crazy knee bar so far in the UFC against JJ Aldrich. So, Aldrich won our last fight against Liang Na, but I think everybody wins against Liang Na if you get past the first round. Montana De La Rosa, she lost to Suarez last time out, but I think Aldrich will be as well. Super close fight, dude. I mean, it can go both ways. I'm picking Aldrich by split decision. I'm going against you.
I think it goes the distance. By the way, I don't know if there's some clicking in the background. Is that you possibly, or I hear
that's me. I'm sorry. It's absolutely.
Oh, dude, stop! I knew you're cutting your fucking nails. Just do it later.
Sorry.
It's so loud, bro. Honestly, all these guys now are gonna know you're cutting your nails. Are you gonna paint them pink later, Marcel? Is that what you're gonna do?
No, I was just playing with it, So
sure, buddy, sure. No, you can hear it though. I appreciate you.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I agree with you. I agree with what you said. Tristan Parlater with Raymond Magomed Liev. I can't. That's the guy from Eagle FC, right? I can't pronounce his name.
Raymond Magomedaliev.
There you go. Thank you. I fucking butchered that one, guys. Sorry about that. This guy's laughing too. That was funny. JJ, yeah. I mean, listen, it's a close fight, but I just think, like I said, it'll be close. But I think Ken will get a takedown or two and seal the round. But I could be wrong. I mean, it's a close fight. It's not trust me, I'm not excited to bet on this fight, But I have to make a pick. I think Lella Rosa wins.
It's like a typical fight I would never put money on. Let's put it that way.
Marcel just reminded me to cut my nails. There you go, Marcel. You gave the reminder to the boys. All right, let's go to the next fight here, guys. We have bantamweight bout. Mateus Mendonca taking on Nate Maness.
It's flyweight, by the way.
Oh, flyweight. I apologize. Yeah, Dave Maness dropped down in weight. My apologies. Odds for this one, -230 Mendonca, +190 Maness. What do you think?
This is another difficult fight to pick, in my opinion. Nate Maness or Maness. I still don't know.
You know what? I should just do the pronunciation guide and double check. Let me check the pronunciation. You talking, I'll check.
Yeah. So I would go with Nate Maness. He lost his last 2 fights against Ulanbekov and against Nurmagomedov. Ulanbekov was his debut in the UFC at flyweight. Didn't look good in that fight at all. You saw his weight cut didn't do. I think his weight cut wasn't really great. Mateus Mendonca, he lost to Javid Basharat in the unanimous decision, but Javid is really legit. Before that, he won against Ashik Ajim in the Contender Series. Got a win over Pedro Nobre, UFC veteran. Difficult, man. Really difficult, I think. I think many people will go with Nate Maness here on this one, but I feel actually confident going with Mendonca, man. I think he can do it. I think he can win the fight. I think it will be a decision as well. I think it will be super competitive, but I'm going with Mendonca here.
Okay, so I checked. It's Maness. Good call.
Okay.
Good.
Nice.
Who'd you pick, Maness?
No, I picked Mendonca by decision.
Yeah, I mean, again, not a fight like I'm running to the window to bet on. I feel like Mendonca probably wins too. Like I'm with you because I remember on Contender, man, he looked good, and even against Javid, like he had some good moments in that fight.
Yeah.
It was 20. Oh, Adelaide Bird had 29-28. Okay, probably wasn't those. But listen, I thought it was. I remember like looking back at it, it was kind of competitive. So like I think the guy's decent, right? Like I just don't rate Nate Maness that high, and I just don't like this move to like flyweight really for him. Or so I don't think it's the best weight class. Like he's not. He's huge in this division, but I just think he's like too big, like almost like he's cutting so much weight. Like I think it's going to affect his chin in this fight. Mendonca a lot younger too, 8 years younger. He's only 24, right? So he's super young. Maness again, I know he didn't get finished or knocked out, but he still got finished. I just don't know if I can trust his chin. Remember that Tommy Gravely fight? I know he came back and won, but
yeah,
he got dropped early. It looked like it wasn't going well for him. Then he ended up winning. Don't really trust the guy. I think he's decent, but not great. Mendonca again, like maybe a little overvalued here, but I still think he wins it. He might end up being good value. We're just not like I'm just not like willing to really pull the trigger on it. At -230, but I think he wins. I think a knockout. I'll take a knockout, Marcel. I'll take a knockout in this one. All right, we'll go to the next fight here, guys. We have women's strawweight bout between Little Monster Vanessa Demopoulos and Kanako Murata, and the odds for this one have Murata's a big favorite, -355, +280 in Demopoulos. Again, Marcel, I feel like the odds are a little heavy here, right? Like -355 seems heavy for a girl that's 1-1 in the UFC, hasn't fought in 2.5 years. Like it's a little heavy, right? But at the same time, like Demopoulos is not like I don't think she's great, man. Like she's 2-3 in the UFC. It's 3-2. She has a good record, but like you watch these fights a little closer, it's not that impressive. Like in my opinion, I don't know, man. Like she's also so small. Like they're both small, but like the reach is so short. I just think again, like what's the takedown game? It's 50%, right? Like I know it's only 6 fight sample size, but I just think she'll get taken down. Like I think she'll get taken down in this fight and held down by the Murata, right? Like, that's what I think happens. But again, am I going to go willing? Am I willing to bet -355 on some girl that hasn't fought in 2.5 years? No fucking chance. So Murata by decision for me, Marcel. But I'm not betting this fight. I'm not betting it at all. What do you think?
Yeah, man. I also like Demopoulos. I think she got dropped against Gomez Juarez, and then she got the armbar. The Frey split decision. I think she lost that fight, dude. And yeah, she definitely won against Maria Oliveira. It's like also question to you if you don't know if you go off from memory and all, who do you think is younger, Kanako or Vanessa?
Well, Kanako.
Yeah, she's 5 years younger, but I didn't know she was 5 years.
No, Vanessa's my age. She's 88 like me. She's actually born 9 days after me. She just turned 35. So
all right.
I gotta get on. I gotta slip into her DMs now, man. Be like, hey, we're the same age, you know. And that's it. We're both Greek too. We're both Greek, so
I both formerly strippers as well. Yeah.
Oh so. Yeah, of course.
No, I'm also with Murata here. I think she wins a decision, man. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, I don't love this fight. You think loser gets cut?
No, they keep if Demopoulos loses, they keep her on. They like her, I think. So I think they keep her on.
All right, let's go to the next fight here, boys. We got another bantamweight bout, or this is the first bantamweight bout between Aoriqileng and Johnny Munoz, and the odds are pick up -110 each on this fight. So another tough one to pick. Curious to your thoughts on this one. Honestly, man, I really feel like a coin flip is accurate for this fight. Like I don't really know, to be honest with you, Marcel. There's not like a lot I feel like that we can like decide on basically. Like it's basically striker grappler, I would say. Like if you have to break it down a little bit, like I think Munoz is better on the ground. I think Aoriqileng is better striking. Aoriqileng much more experience, but not against really high level guys. Munoz a little bit bigger, a little taller, a little more reach. Again, I think -110 is actually accurate. Not a fight. Again, I keep saying pass, but like these fights are tough to pick, guys, in my opinion. Curious to your thoughts. I'm leading Munoz by decision, Marcel, but I have no fucking clue, honestly. What do you think?
Remember when we were both shocked when the odds came out for Munoz Jr. against Tony Gravely? We were both like, man, Munoz probably going to win this. He's really good. And then Gravely does so well, in that fight.
Yep.
I think both guys are pretty fun to watch, but I have more faith in Johnny Munoz Jr., to be honest. Aoriqileng, not a bad fighter, but his wins are against two guys who are like, how do you say that? Are not even in the UFC anymore, I think, right? Jay Perrin and Cameron Ellis, So Johnny Munoz, I always liked him, Get Kavambo, I think he's pretty good. Pretty decent, I should say pretty good as like top, but pretty decent. I think he wins. Might be a fight of the night contender, man. Not gonna lie. This is a pretty good fight, pretty fun one, I think. Going with decision win for Munoz. A lot of decision, guys. Sorry, guys, but
yeah I think so too. That's kind of what I'm thinking as well. So we have the same thoughts on that. Emily Walker, what's up, man? It's Mills. Who's this guy in the hat? It's me. Jay's made the playoffs, playing the Twins. We're gonna win that series, I think. Definitely gonna win that one. All right, guys. Keep the train rolling here, Marcel. Another bantamweight bout here. We have Chris Gutierrez on Wapo taking on Montel Quick Jackson. This is a good fight, 135. Every fight 135 is so good. Minus 180 for Jackson, plus 150 Gutierrez. I'll just say it right now, Marcel. I really like Montel Jackson in this fight, personally, man. I like both guys. Don't get me wrong. I think Gutierrez is good. I was shocked, kind of like how easily he lost to Pedro Munoz. That really surprised me, man. I got to be honest with you. Like, he got dropped, he got hurt. It surprised me, but like, again, it's a bad look here. And then you got Jackson, guys. Look at the amount of knockdowns he has in his last 4 fights. He has 8 knockdowns scored. Now I understand the level of competition is not the best, but it's not like it's terrible. Like, Julio Arce is a pretty good fighter. He beat him pretty easily. Monty Yaya is a veteran. He's the only guy to ever knock out Yaya, I think, since Joseph Benavidez, right? So that's hard to do. I think he's good. I mean, he's actually been around for like 5 years now in the UFC, and no one really talks about him a lot as a contender at 135. I think the guy's pretty fucking solid. Gutierrez is good too. Don't get me wrong, guys, but I saw some stuff in that last fight I didn't like, and I do hate completely just basing off one fight, because if you asked me before that, I would have been like, yeah, Gutierrez wins. He's looking amazing, but like, it was such a bad look, man, in my opinion. So he's taking on a guy that's got power and who's the better wrestler. I think Jackson, how many takedowns does he average a fight? 3.5. I mean, he's going to get a takedown or two in this fight. He might get a knockdown, but I think as long as he just gets the fight to the ground, he can win this fight, grind it out. So Montel Jackson, probably decision. That's what I'm thinking. Again, I think he's got some good advantages here. The wrestling, he's got an 8-inch reach advantage. Southpaw, younger guy, taller guy. I think he's got most of the advantages of the fight. Better pure strikers, Gutierrez, but Jackson can hold his own. Montel Jackson wins. What do you think, man?
The person who put this fight on the prelims.
Yep.
I mean, this is a really good fight, I think. I'm also pretty high on Montel, Montel Jackson, not Montel Jordan. I think he's really good, what we've seen so far in the UFC, good ground game. I think his stand-up is pretty good as well. Chris Gutierrez is also pretty underrated, but man, it wasn't a good look against Munoz last time out, I'm going also with decision win for Montel here. I think he probably grinds out a decision here. And when he wins, he's going to sing, "This is how we do it." Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Joe likes the fight goes distance. Probably, that's what I'm thinking too. All right, next fight here. Karolina Kowalkiewicz taking on Diana Belbita. I think I pronounced her name right now. Got you, man. She's Canadian, right? Or kind of like, quasi-Canadian. We'll take her, Marcel. We'll take her. It's okay. We'll take Karolina too. I mean, yeah, we'll take Karolina as well.
Yeah, you would definitely take them. Yeah.
Although I know her husband wouldn't be too happy with that, but yeah. We got the Polish princess here, minus 160, plus 135, and then on the Romanian warrior. What do you think about this fight, man? What do you think about this one? I think it could be a banger, to be honest with you. What do you think?
Yeah, man. I mean, this fight was first on the main card. I think they switched it for Lens Cutelaba. I mean, Karolina is looking pretty good, man, in the last couple of fights, I think, I mean, she was really like, I had the feeling like she was going to retire soon, but I think she relocated right in Florida. And, she does pretty well, 3-fight win streak, looking good. Diana is like, she had a pretty rough start in the UFC with losing to McCann and to Joshua. I think her last fight was the first really like how do you say that? Really good clear win for her in the UFC. You know, I know the Gloria de Paula fight was close. The Goldie fight she won, but the Maria Oliveira fight was really really clear that she won that fight. You know, it's so difficult, man, to pick this fight. You know, for the simple reason that Belbita, in my opinion, is still pretty inconsistent, and Karolina has done really well in the last couple of fights. So, do I go with experience here, or do I go with a little bit more of youth and with more upside, probably? Man, this also screams split decision.
Yeah.
This fight, really difficult. I think Karolina can win. I'm gonna give her the edge here. You know, going with decision win for Karolina.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be competitive too. I'll be honest. My initial lean was kind of Belbita because of the age, right? She's 11 years younger. I mean, that's something I always keep in mind. But like, I look at it more, and it's like, man, she's really still like very hittable. You know, like in my opinion, and I know she's looked decent at times, but like, let's not get it wrong. She's 2-3 in the UFC. I mean, it's not a winning record. You know, in many ways, she's kind of lucky to be around because after 1-3, some fighters get cut. You know, she's marketable, so you're going to keep her around. But listen, I like her game. Don't get me wrong, guys. She's going to put her chin down, bite down the mouthpiece, walk forward, but very sloppy striking, in my opinion. You know, Marcel. Like, don't get me wrong. I still bet on her in the last fight against Maria Oliveira. I picked her there, and she won the fight. Like, she could beat those low-level girls, but I think like Karolina, again, so much experience, man, against high-level competition, right? Like throughout her career. And I'll be honest, a couple of years ago, guys, I thought she was completely done. Like, when she had lost that fight to Penne and how bad she lost and how easily she lost, I'm like, oh man, she's completely washed. And since then, she's looked great the last 3 fights for the most part, right? Like, the Harry fight looked amazing. The Gomez Juarez fight was pretty close. Like, there's some sketchy ass scorecards going on there, but still, you know, decent performance. And then the Demopoulos fight, you know, landed her 139-68. Like, that was pretty impressive. So, again, you know, she's fought champions. She's been, I think she was in a title fight, right, against Joanna, right, at one point.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, she was, yeah.
Yeah, so like it's, you know, she's fought and beaten. She's not win over Rosa on her resume, so she's fought and beaten good fighters. You know, it'd be a pretty surprising 4-fight win streak if she gets the job done here compared to that 5-fight losing skid. But I don't know, man. Like I like Belbita. She can win, like you said. Like, she's got the upside here. She's the younger fighter, taller, longer. But I don't feel like it's as easy as that. You know, I feel Karolina is more well-rounded. I think she's a little bit more defensively sound. And I think she'll win a decision. But again, it's a close fight. It's screaming. Isn't it a screaming split to you? It probably is.
Yeah,
right?
it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, of course.
Especially with the way that Deanna fights, right? She walks forward, you know, throws punches. Even if they don't land, there's still some judges going to be like, yeah, you won the fight, you know, just because she threw a lot. Got a question from Zach, by the way. We're going OG Monster flavor.
Yeah, it was.
There you go. Zach, what's up, man? 4 ounces of freedom. Karolina, yeah, I think Karolina wins. Joe, win or lose, I wouldn't mind a rematch between KK and Watershed. Yeah, they could do that fight. Let's go to the next fight.
I got to tell you this fun story. You know, I was in, I think in Hamburg for the fights. I think it was Arlovsky against Barnett. And I think Karolina was one of the guest fighters there. So I was with a friend there, and he was like, "Oh man, I hope we can see Karolina." I was like, "Why?" "Yeah, I want to take a picture with her and this and that." So okay, yeah, cool. So then at a certain moment, we were just standing there. He's like, "Look at that girl, man. She got beautiful legs." So I'm looking. I was like, "Yeah, dude, shoot your shot." You know. He's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "You want to take a picture?" He's looking to me. What are you? I was like, "Dude, that's Karolina." He's like, "Oh my god," you're running to her.
Yeah, she's always been one of my favorites. I mean, yeah, she's good. Never had a Monster Red Bull. How'd you like it, Antoine? I don't really drink the energy drinks too often, but they have one here in Canada called like a Joker energy drink. I actually don't mind that one, the Joker energy. I do like the no sugar one, so it's pretty good. All right, let's go to the next fight here. We got the Great Ape Alexander Hernandez taking on Bill Algeo Senor Perfecto. This opens up the main card here, and the odds on this one have Bill Algeo favored here. Minus 135 plus 115 on Alexander Hernandez. I mean, Marcel just started now. I like Bill Algeo in this fight. Like I really like him quite a bit in this fight. I don't like this move once again from Alexander Hernandez to 145. I just don't think it's the right weight class for him, quite frankly. He hasn't looked very good there in the past. That's a shitload of weight to make the weight. And now he's taking in a guy that can hang in there for 3 rounds, has great cardio, very tough dude. In Bill Algeo, like he might lose the first round here, but he'll win the second and third round. I think he potentially could finish the fight even maybe like later on in it, like kind of like that Billy Q fight. But either way, man, like I like Algeo quite a bit. I just think the cardio is the biggest advantage for him here in this fight. That's the biggest thing I see separating these guys is the cardio. I think Bill Algeo will be able to survive that first round, take over in the second round, and grind out a decision, or potentially even finish Hernandez maybe like a late submission or something. What do you think, man?
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way, man. I mean, Alexander Hernandez always has like a good first round. We saw it against Billy Q, but after that he gassed heavily. I was like, he looks like a fucking world beater, man, in the first round against Billy Q. So I feel the same way, man. I always the name Bill always fucks with me because Bill in Dutch means butt cheek. So I always have to laugh when I see that name. So Bill Algeo, yeah, I think he's pretty solid. He's pretty underrated. I always switch him up with Pat Sabatini for some reason. I don't know why, but those guys look the same to me for some reason. They don't, but in my mind. So I was like, Bill Algeo last time beat Lucas Almeida, but that was fucking Pat Sabatini, of course, So yeah, I'm also with Algeo here. You saw he has good cardio, and it helped him a lot in a lot of fights, actually. It helped him against against Herbert Burns, where he was also in trouble early. I think it helped him against Joe Anderson Brito. It helped him in a lot of fights, and it will help him again here if he doesn't get finished in the first, which I don't think will happen. So Bill Algeo for me as well with the decision.
There we go. Both of the same pick there. Yeah, I feel pretty good about Algeo here. Honestly, he's one of my more confident picks on the card, I would say. Yeah. Say your protector is a tough dude. I wish you had been able to get Algeo past Sabatini. That would have been really good. Craig, what's up, man? How's it going, brother? Glad to have you here, man. Hope you had a good weekend. Hernandez faded harder. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's cutting a shitload of weight to make this. I think he talked to Cole Sheldon about it a while ago, and he was saying like it was like really bad. It's a really hard weight cut for the guy. Like he's a pretty big, strong dude, like muscular guy, right? Hernandez. Mm-hmm. So that's a tough cut. You guys think they ever cut Alexander? I mean, not if he loses Algeo, I don't think so. But like
he won against Schindler last time, right?
Yeah, he won against Schindler.
Yeah,
he's a pretty exciting guy. I mean, all his fights. Actually, a lot of his fights end inside the distance, which is interesting. Let me check Bill Algeo. Yeah, you think this would be a decision fight. Maybe someone does get finished here, But yeah. Anyway, same thoughts as you. He's your boy, Joe? Philly boy. All right. Your Philly guy, Paul Felder's coming back soon. That's the rumor. All right, we'll go to the next fight here. We got Jan. You know what? Here, I got to listen to these guys' names too, but we got Cutelaba and Lins. Let me get the pronunciations down. I have the UFC media guide. I can listen to the pronunciations. Let me hear this, Marcel. All right, let's see.
Cutelaba.
Philipe Lins. So Philipe, that's how you say his. And then Ion Cutelaba. There you go. So I got it right from the source. Ion Cutelaba and Philipe Lins. That's the fight here. Light heavyweight bout. Minus 140, Ion Cutelaba. Plus 120, Philipe Lins. Marcel, hit the music, man. Hit the dog music. Let's go, baby. Come on. Get it
ready again.
You never have it ready, man. You gotta have
man.
it ready. You guy, man. Come on. But yeah, no, I just like I said, I heard the pronunciation guy, guys. That's it. Eon. I called him Ion on this podcast before. I apologize. I try to get the names right. It's sort of respect to these guys. Like you want to get their names right. Yeah, I'm going with the dog here, guys. I'm going to take Philipe Lins. I've been decently impressed with the guy. I mean, he's looked pretty good at 205. I think.
I'm shocked you go with Lins.
I mean too, because like I don't like him, but like he's looked pretty good, man. Like I think he's looked really good lately. The OSP fight was nice, but even Grishin and Prachnio, like those guys are decent, and he won those fights. Like it's decent. Cutelaba, I get it. He's got power, right? He knocked out Bozer. We've seen him get knockouts like over like Roundtree. Even the Clark fight, he was looked really impressive in that. But like all those losses, man, so many knockout losses, so many submission losses. Like I feel like the guy is one of these guys that's kind of, except for that Devin Clark fight, he's kind of first round or bust. So I don't trust him. I think Lins can survive that first round and then come back in the second or third round and actually finish Cutelaba when he gasses out, because he always does. So taking the dog, Marcel, taking Lins, surprising myself a little bit, but I'm going to go with Lins here by TKO. Yeah?
Yeah, man. I was surprised you're going with Lins, but I'm not surprised.
You tripped me up when you said that. You tripped me up, buddy.
No, man. I'm also on Lins here, man. I think Lins has got it good together, man, since he's moved to 205, I think at 265 he looked horrible in the UFC. You know, I think at 205 he looks pretty decent. Cutelaba, I'm still not. Listen, man, he's fun, but mostly for one round. And he does that weird stuff where he tags somebody and then he tries to go for a takedown. You know, it's like, dude, now you can punch him out actually. You know, but then he goes for a takedown somehow and then he gets reversed and he gets knocked out himself or whatever. Yeah, Lins for me here. I think Lins finishes him as well. Probably first, even second or first round. I think first round.
Let's fucking go, boys. Let's go. We got some guys in the chat. Lins has to 5 minutes. Agreed. Drawers. Yeah, that fight, he looked great at first, but again, gas, right? That's what happened. Minutes at distance. Hey, what's up, Grateful Dude? That's what I'm thinking too. I don't think the fight goes to 3 rounds. Cutelaba first round knockout could happen. Is there odds for it? I don't know if the odds are out yet. First round knockout. Yeah, they don't. I don't see the odds for it. That could. I mean, that's his path to victory, first round, right? But again, you got to make a pick here. I'm taking Lins. So there we go. All right, guys, we go to the next fight here. This should be a good fight too. Lightweight bout between veterans Drew Dober and Aoriqileng. And odds for this one, Dober is a massive favorite, minus 470 and plus 360 on Aoriqileng. And it's worth noting, Marcel, these guys have like iron chins. And they both got knocked out for the first time in their last fight. So you have 2 veterans that have been around forever fighting again. And both of them, you know, we're going to see their chins tested again because I think this will probably be a stand-up fight. So, I mean, I'll start again. You know, it's just, I mean, how do you not pick Dober here, right? How do you not, Marcel? How do you not pick him? Like, I know he's coming off that bad loss, but like, guys, like he's just proven it over the years that he's a fucking tough out, man. He's got crazy power, so many knockouts in his career, very good chin. I'm not willing to really say that it's bad because he got knocked out by Frola in the McKinney fight last year as well. Like, it might be declining a bit, but again, I know Aoriqileng did knock out Joaquin Silva, but like in general, I don't look at him as like a knockout artist, right? So sure. I feel like Aoriqileng getting knocked out by Giagos, that's a really bad look. Like, to me, that shows that his chin is probably going here. I'm more concerned about him getting knocked out by Giagos. He has like no power compared to a guy like Favola, who has insane power knocking out Dober, and same with McKinney hurting him, right? I'm just concerned about Aoriqileng. And again, I do like the fighter, but like overall, he hasn't really had a great career in the UFC. He's 4-4-1. You know, it's not a great career. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with you know, Drew Dober. I would say have a nickname. No, he's not a nickname. I think he used to have one, didn't he? I can't remember. But I'm gonna go with the Doberman. Doberman. That's CV Dalloway. What am I talking about? No, I'm gonna go with Dober over the Gladiator. I think he knocks him out. Probably like first or second round. What do you think?
Yeah, man. I mean, you say who is going not with Dober? Probably Glenn's family members. Yeah. I mean, weird matchup, to be really honest. Listen, man, I'm happy for Glenn. He gets the opportunity to fight somebody like Dober. But, I mean, listen, man, Dober, it's actually funny. Dober is a dog, you know? So, he's not a Dober man, but he's a dog. He's a guy I always like to see fighting. He always comes to fight. And I think he's just better than Aoriqileng. No disrespect to Aoriqileng. So, yeah, I'm with you as well. I think he gets a finish as well. So,
yeah, no, I agree. I think he knocks him out. Yeah, Dober, like, again, he's a powerful guy. All righty. Flying through this card. Love it. Alex Morono taking on Joaquin Buckley in the welterweight division. Odds for this one, we have Buckley minus 175, Morono plus 145. Marcel, hit the music, my friend. Let's go. You got to find it again?
No, I have it here.
Taking Morono. I'm going to take Morono. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, Joaquin Buckley can knock him out. You can knock out anyone. He's got crazy power. But I think Morono's really solid, man. Like, I think he's just a really solid fighter overall. And he's pretty, durable for the most part as well. He's a guy that can go hard, 3 hard rounds. I trust his cardio more, especially with Buckley cutting down to 170. As long as, again, he doesn't get knocked out in that first round, I think this is his fight. Like, I think he'll have more volume in this fight. I think even he has the better ground game, too. If the fight goes to the ground, I think he's better on the ground. He's got more experience. I mean, Buckley's got a lot of experience, don't get me wrong, but Moro's got a little bit more of it. Maybe that's not really the biggest factor. The biggest factor for me is just the fact that I know he can go 3 hard rounds at 170, and I know he's gonna throw a ton of volume up, like 5.5, almost 5.5 strikes landed per minute. That's a lot of volume. And Buckley, again, he has been knocked out a few times. He's hittable. He's definitely hittable. I like both guys. I like Buck Marcel. He's a good striker. He's got power, but I think Morono could actually win this fight. So again, going with another dog here, Alex Morono, the Great White. I'll take him to win by decision, Marcel. Yeah? Oh my God. And remember, guys,
man.
me and Marcel do not talk about these fights before. We have no fucking clue. You like him too, eh?
Yeah, man. I think the odds are pretty off, man, in my opinion.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
I think Morono. I always have the feeling like Morono gets really underrated all the time. You know what I mean? And I feel like Buckley has a little bit of that overrated thing all the time, you know. And I don't think he's bad. Don't get me wrong. I don't say that. But I think by the public, he gets overrated. And it's because he's talking a lot all the time, you know. And he's always in the news because he's smart. He keeps his name relevant. You know what I mean? But I think a lot of people think like he's a lot better than he actually is. He's not bad. Don't get me wrong. But I think Morono is overall better, man. I think he's his stand-up. Yeah, Buckley is maybe a little bit more flashy, you know what I mean? But I think Morono is like really basic, really good, you know? If you look at the ground game, I think Morono is pretty solid. He's overall a pretty good fighter, you know? Yeah, Morono decision for me as well. I was actually surprised to see these odds, you know? Because I was actually from the beginning on Morono, and I was actually surprised that and it went a little bit down, I think. I think Buckley was a bigger favorite 2 days ago, so yeah.
Yeah, no, he was. Morono's plus 165 better. I mean, I like him to win. I think he wins the fight. All right, let's go to the next fight here. We got the co-main event, Marcel, Joe Pyfer. It's Pyfer, by the way. I did check this one yesterday. Pyfer, not because a lot of people say Pyfer.
Yeah,
Pyfer. Yeah, no, a lot of people say that, but it is Pyfer. Takes on Abdul Razak Alhassan, the middleweight division. Odds for this one, Pyfer, massive favorite, Marcel. Minus 470, plus 360 on Abdul Razak Alhassan. So you get this is basically Alhassan has a puncher's chance to win this fight. And I mean, he could land. He's got power, but
yeah.
You know, he's an older guy now. He's 37 now. Or, sorry, 38 now. Jeez, he's getting really up there in age. And again, kind of a guy that I feel kind of bad for because he got his career kind of derailed by that false accusation of, like, raping some girl. Remember that? Like, they lied about it?
Two girls, yeah.
Yeah, 2 girls. And they lied about it. And he lost, like, I think 2 years of his career. Let me double check. Yeah, 2018 and 2020 didn't fight at all. So that sucks. And since he's come back, Marcel from that 2-5. I know he won his last. He can't still knock people out. Like, he knocked out Ribeiro. He knocked out Jericho, so he can do it. But I just don't really trust him. And then you got Joe Pyfer, who the UFC clearly loves. They're building him. He's won 2 straight fights by knockout again over really bad. I mean, not to say really bad competition. You beat Gerald Mercer. That's a good win. But the Alan Volkovsky fight is like the worst level of competition you could have. The fact he got a bonus for that fight is so laughable to me. Like, that guy, like, you could knock him out, Marcel. Honestly, that guy's terrible. And that Diaz guy in Contender is not great either. Anyways, I like Pyfer, though, man. I think he's looked really good. Huge power. He's still a young guy. He's only 27. He's right in his prime. You know, he's 6'2". He's 4 inches taller. Got the longer reach. I just think he's got most of the advantages. And again, Abdul Razak Alhassan has a negative striking differential. 3.5 strikes landed to 4 absorbed. That is not good sign against Joe Pyfer, who can knock you pretty much anyone in this division. So, you know, Marcel, it took me a little while to warm up to Pyfer, but I think he's really good, man. I think the UFC did find something good in this guy. So I think he wins. I think he wins by knockout. The odds are pretty heavy, but I still think he wins the fight. I think he gets a job done. What do you think, my friend?
Yeah, man, I actually was surprised that they put Buckley and Alhassan back to back, you know, because of the beef. Yeah, Pyfer as well, man. The thing is, like, it's kind of a disrespectful line, I think there is, but the thing is, like, Alhassan can only win at one way, I think, and that's a knockout. You know what I mean? And Pyfer has more ways to win. I think Pyfer knocks him out probably. You know, that's what I think, and I think he does it in the first round. I think it will be a firefight. You know what I mean? For as long as it takes. And the thing is, like, I was thinking about doing Joe Pyfer by submission. You know what I mean? But you know, if Joe Pyfer has somebody tagged, he probably jumps on him and goes for the TKO. You know what I mean? So I'm taking Joe Pyfer by first round TKO.
No, I like it too. That's my pick here as well, guys. A couple comments. I mean, that'd be his path. Razak would be first round knockout, right? Yeah, exactly. All right, we'll go to the last fight here, guys. Wow, we kind of zoomed through that one, which is good. Well, I guess we're on time. We're at the 50-minute mark now. So we got the main event here, guys. We finally got to it. Lightweight belt, 5 rounds. Bobby Green taking on Grant Dawson. And again, you have big odds here, Marcel, on this one as well. Grant Dawson is, I believe, the biggest favorite in the card. No, he's actually not the biggest now, but he's minus 425, plus 300 on Green. So he's third biggest behind Dober and Pyfer, who we just talked about. So Dawson's a huge favorite still, minus 425. I mean, I think he should be minus 1,000, guys. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I have no doubts he wins this fight. I'd be shocked if he lost Marcel. I know Bobby looked pretty good in his last fight against Tony Ferguson. I bet on him, and he looked good in that fight, right? He's a big favorite. He looked good, but again, it's a guy that is getting up there in age, and he can be taken down and controlled. We saw against Islam, and I get it. Islam's the best guy, but Dawson's pretty fucking good. I'll tell you, Marcel, Dawson, the last fight with Demir, right? Gizmagulov,
Really impressive,
buddy. 12 and a half minutes of control time. That's a lot of control time. 3 takedowns landed. Like, that's just a lot of control. Even the Mark Madsen fight, how much control do you have? 9.5 minutes against an Olympian. Jared Gordon's a good wrestler at 7 minutes control there. The Leo Santos fight's another good grappler, 8 minutes of control. He's just a control machine. Listen, he might not be the most exciting guy, right? I think we can admit that. But I personally like watching a fight because I enjoy guys that are dominant on the ground, and he's one of them. He's one of the best ground guys in the division. He has an amazing record in the UFC, 8-0-1. That Ricky Glenn fight, I don't know what happened, but you know what happened to Marcel? After that fight, he went to American Top Team, and he's leveled up since going there. He's leveled the fuck up. He trains with the best guys in the world. Trains with Poirier, Macanio, Gamrot, all those top guys, Armand, all those monsters. And I think it's going to have him very well prepared for this fight. It's his first main event. Thinking of Bobby Green, a guy who, again, been around forever, good fighter. He has, I think his record, I was looking at, I think it's 11-9-1-1 in the UFC. So he's, got a deep, it's like slightly over 500, but again, he's fought really good competition. But it's just like lately Marcel hasn't really looked that great, and kind of feel like he's on a bit of a decline. Like the last fight against Tony, don't get me wrong, he looked good in that fight, but like the Jared Gordon fight, I don't think he was looking good. The Dober fight got knocked out, and then the Makhachev fight got destroyed. So I do feel like it's on a bit of a decline here, guys. And Dawson really on the up and up. I mean, I think I've spent enough time talking about this fight. The guy's minus 425 for a reason. I think he could be much bigger because I think if he wins, he'll dominate the fight on the ground. I think the way to go for this fight, guys, go with that submission. That's what I think, Marcel. I don't think it goes 5 rounds. I think Green will be finished in this fight. Give me Grant Dawson sub. I'll say 3rd round submission. What do you think?
I'm actually going with a decision, but okay. I can see submission as well.
I think Green might give up a little bit, like in the Islam fight. He kind of gave up, in my opinion.
Yeah, he also. I mean, it also can be possible a TKO with ground and pound. So. But yeah, I'm going with decision here. I think he's super dominant on the ground. That's what I think. Yeah, you actually said everything. I mean, I expect Dawson to win the fight. Listen, man, I'm happy for Green. He gets another main event, but this is like also stylistically a very tough matchup for him, I think. So yeah, I'm taking Dawson as well.
I agree. Yeah. The Jared Gordon fight, I mean, they both kind of got pieced up by Jared Gordon, which is crazy, right? In my opinion. But yeah, I just think you guys leveled up. I really do. So I'm going with them, no doubt about it. All right, Marcel. I mean, that's it for the UFC Vegas 80 preview. I mean, I think it's a pretty good card overall. Some fun fights. And I think we'll probably see some like finishes on this card too as well. Like quite a few, like at the end, the main card anyways. I think we'll see quite a few finishes. Early prelims, probably some decisions, and then we'll get the main card up knockouts later on. King by knockout. Well, he's a West Coast guy. That's why you like him, obviously. That's why. All righty, Marcel. That's it for the UFC Vegas preview. Let's move on to Contender Series, guys. We'll recap last week's card, and then we'll go into the next this weekend's card, which we do have odds for. Sorry, not weekend. Sorry, this Tuesday's card. Excuse me. I misspoke there, obviously. Last week, get the fights. Okay, so let's just go through it, Marcel. Let's start with the good. We'll start with the good stuff, okay? So Danny Barlow looked great, right? Contract easily. Not much to say. The guy looked amazing. Vinicius Alver again, right? Amazing.
Lock dog.
What? Sorry?
Lock dog.
Buddy, that was a fucking crazy knock. And right in front of Dana too, eh? Like the guy was dead. They fucking murdered the guy. Do we talk about the other good fights or the bad fight first?
Go ahead. What you want?
Let's talk about the good ones. Danny Silva and Angel Pacheco, amazing fight. Amazing.
Yeah.
They both got contract, right? Yeah, they both got contracts. Same with the girls fight, Ernesta Caracate and Carly Judice. Honestly, like those fights are both so good that I don't really blame the UFC. They're like, yeah, I might as well just give them 12 and 12 than let Bellator get them, right?
I wasn't really like super enthusiastic about the girls fight, man.
It was sloppy, dude. There's no doubt. It was sloppy, but they still went to war, bro. They were fighting hard for 50 minutes.
Yeah, of course.
Dana was like clapping. Like
I understand that, but what do you want? Do you want like sloppy, crazy fights between 3-0 and 4-1?
They don't mind that if they're making 12,000. They don't mind.
Yeah, I know, but
That will open up. That Carly Judisco will open up a prelim card to the Apex. Like,
true, but you got to get quality in control. But they don't do that anymore.
I don't think you're wrong. Like, I agree with you. I actually agree with you, right? But go ahead. Anything else?
But they don't do that anymore. You know, they don't give a shit. You know?
They sign everyone now. You got to talk about this shit heavyweight fight. Mario Piazon defeats Alexander Soldikin. The Soldikin guy is fucking horrible. The guy is a scrub. He cannot stop a takedown. I don't know if you saw the stats for this fight. I got to show you guys the stats. It's so crazy. Let's see here. What are the stats? Here we go. This is fucking jokes. Piazon. Yeah. So he had 13 takedowns landed. He had 26 takedown attempts and landed 13 takedowns. Had 7 minutes of control and only landed 14 strikes compared to Soldikin's 12. The fight was fucking shit. It was like literally I don't know if you saw that guy. What's his name? Dylan Budka. He tweeted. He's like. Now I have the second worst fight contender series history. Dude, this fight was fucking horrible. Like I think Dana said he got up and left. Like he didn't. Like, what the fuck was this? Like, this guy's corner's like, hey buddy, keep doing the same thing. Like, just keep doing that. Like, dude, have they never seen contender series of what they want? They don't want cage control. They don't want to see that. They want to see you go for a finish. Mm-hmm. This fight was fucking shit. Go ahead.
Yeah, I also don't like the fight. You know, I was like, also after that fight with what's that, Angel Pacheco against Danny Silva. After that fight, this fight came. It was like super bad. You know, I was glad when it was over. So
yeah, no, I agree. All right, that's it for that card. Okay, we'll go to the next card then. We'll go to the this weekend's contender series. I'll pull it up on the screen for us, guys. Yeah. It's almost over. What, 2 more cards?
Yeah.
Week 9.
And only 4 fights this week.
Yeah. One fell off, right?
Yeah.
All right. 1 second. All right, let's go to this card, guys. Okay. The fight that fell off was Lucas Rocha versus Davey Bittencourt. Rocha missed weight like 5 pounds or something?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's terrible. They cut that guy. You think – I saw your tweet. They should sign the other guy and let him fight Aoriqileng Haley. Is that what you said?
Yeah, at 135. This fight was at 125, and that's at 130.
Makes sense, right? He doesn't have to cut weight. Odds. Okay, let's go through this fight. So we got Rodolfo Balato taking Murtaza Talha, and the odds for this one -270 Talha, +200 Balato. Balato got power more so, but like I think Talha probably finishes him. I don't think this fight goes 3 rounds. These Bahrain guys are fucking dangerous, man. What do you think?
Those are just Russians who are training in Bahrain. Yeah, he's he's what I've seen from him is pretty decent. You know, I think he wins as well.
What's the gym they're at? You know what it's called?
KHK team.
Yeah. There's a lot of like Gaziev's there, right?
Gutierrez is there, Talha is there, Gaziuzalov is there, Aldarov is there.
I'm looking forward to saying this guy's name. Hold on, let's go to this one first. Eduardo Matias Torres against Victor Hugo Silva. -440 for Silva, +110 on Torres. I was looking at this one. This is not a fight I would bet on. I mean, these guys are kind of closely matched, I think, a little bit. What do you think? Any idea?
Yeah, wait for man. It's difficult, you know. Listen, man, we can look at records and who they beat, but I'm not too familiar with both guys, so it's really difficult to say.
Magomed Gaziasulov against Jose Daniel Bandina. And the odds for this one, -850 on Gaziasulov. I mean, how do you say this guy's name? I can't pronounce it.
Gaziasulov, I would say.
Oh, okay, I did good. Yeah, there you go, baby. I mean, this guy's gonna win, right? Like, this one's kind of sketchy. This whole this one, the sketchy fight, Marcel.
I see it. Yeah.
Record ineligible. Whenever I see this guy, it's not good. And always you see that guy Reece Street or whatever beside it. That scrub, that like British guy. Like, what is he, like 0-40, or he's 1-41, right? I think.
Yeah, and then you have another one. He is 0-42, I think, or whatever.
Yeah. Mauricio Rufi against Raymond Magomedaliev. I'm pretty sure Raymond wins, right?
Yeah, Rufi is from I think from Caio Baralho's team, and Magomedaliev he's fought and won, I think, before, and he's pretty decent. I'm also with Magomedaliev here, I think. Yeah,
it says Gaziev. Yeah, I saw that tweet by Gaziev. That's interesting. I wonder who it is. Anyways, just wanted to get through that contender series, guys. So, all right, we'll end this podcast for so rate a minute, actually, or 60 minutes, which is amazing. So that's great. We'll finish the podcast up, Marcel. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We're going to start a new podcast in a sec, guys. We're going to go through Bellator 300, which is crazy. We're at Bellator now. So just give me a sec, guys. I'll tweet it out and just brace with me for just a few moments. I'll tweet out the podcast. Talk to you guys in a minute. And if you guys don't want to listen to the Bellator preview, that's totally fine. I hope you guys enjoyed the UFC Vegas preview. Like I said, we're back next Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern, talk about the next UFC card and the Sony views I'm taking on Edson Barboza. And we'll recap this one as well. But if you thought, stick around with us, guys, and we'll break down Bellator 300. Talk to you in a minute. Bye.